And like, I think about that. Like, we was, you know, just certain things like about being happy or just trying to be like, if you can't be happy with yourself or happy when you broke, being rich ain't gonna make you happy, bro.
Exactly.
Like, that shit is not gonna change anything in your fucking life. Yeah. CHYNABLA. Yeah, this is season 2, mother suckers. We are back, and I have a special
What up?
guest.
What up? What up?
And he was on season 1, but he didn't really talk as much. Yeah, we gonna talk about it.
No,
you ain't really talk that much.
Definitely, y'all. Listen, here's the thing.
What?
I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Number one, that was my first time ever doing something like that. That was my first podcast, and apparently I was trying to be too respectful and let motherfuckers talk. I know that it was a forum and it was kind of like an open forum, so I should have just, you know, if I had a thought on that, on whatever the topic was at that moment, I should have blurted out. But at the same time, unfortunately, due to my upbringing, I was on some polite shit. I wanted motherfuckers to be able to get how they felt out about the topic, because it was kind of an important topic.
Now, the person
What you mean when you ask me
right
questions?
now,
Okay,
for
go
those
ahead.
who don't know, is my cousin. I call him Lupe, but he is the Don-Tay. Okay, check him out on SoundCloud. He just made a Twitter.
The Twitter is _Don_Tay. So that's THE_DON_TAY. Check your boy out. I be on there a little bit. I mean, I really only got it because, like she said, well, she didn't say that she made me get it, but technically Chyna made me get it.
I just told him that, you know, Twitter is like one of those things that it gives you news. Like, it's multiple things you can do. I feel like certain things like Facebook and Instagram, you see a lot of things that are repetitive. It's so much going on Twitter that you could just find out so much stuff so fast that I figured out that's a good, at least one social joint you should, you know what I mean? Because again, you finding certain things that you like. Certain things, you feel what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So, and I feel like we've all had a Facebook for so long that there are so many friends on there that we don't see by how they
redundant at this point. Facebook is redundant at this point.
Yeah. But Facebook has upgraded in so many things. But
they had to because of the Russians.
I don't know about that. But I don't even want to get off topic. Today we are talking about anxiety and depression, y'all.
Real topic.
I feel like this is a topic that needs to be discussed within our community. I believe that a lot of people are
ignorant to their feelings.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are ignorant, and I feel like I don't want to like single us out or, you know, or like put us in a box, but I feel like specifically black families, we don't try to acknowledge the situation. Like, it's more of
get to the root of what the
actual like it's never us. Like, we're not the ones that really go to therapy.
We quick to try to solve the problem, but don't really know what the problem is.
Yeah, but I feel like we don't even try. We don't try to solve the problem. I feel like it's just like, okay, you depressed, get over it. You gotta work. You get what I'm saying, and not realizing that this is really something that should be treated like a disease, in my opinion. Now, for me personally,
Stacks.
Yeah, pass the tweet.
Come catch
Pass the tweet. Now, I have looked up for y'all.
Where you at? There you go.
Some anxiety and depression definitions, because we have to be able to identify the two.
This is a real topic. Like, I'm here today mainly because of the fact that throughout maybe the last, let's say anywhere from the last year to 3, to be honest with you, because it's kind of hard to keep track of when you're in a depressed state, to be honest with you. You don't even realize it half the time. But for like the last few years of my life, I'll say, I was really in a dark place, and I was most likely, because unfortunately I still haven't had the chance to because I have called the therapy place. However, when I called them, they said it's a 8-week wait period for a call back. I still don't think these motherfuckers called me back, which is crazy. Wait,
you gotta wait 8 weeks for them to even call you back?
Yeah, unless you was on some emergency inpatient about the 302 type shit. They said you gotta call for outpatient or some shit.
Maybe because there's so much going on.
Right, which I believe that may have been the case. So, so like I actually have been taking the steps to try to, you know.
But let me ask you something. When did you how did you know it was anxiety?
Or I still don't know what it is technically. However, what I will say is that just some of my thoughts and feelings over the last few years haven't really been myself.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, we all have our times where as though like we not feeling the best, or you know, life is tough or whatever. However, when you start doing stuff to the extreme of where as though like you may have thoughts of actually either killing someone, killing yourself, or things like that, like that's different.
That's
and I'm not talking about just like maybe once in a while. I'm talking like on some like almost on a daily basis, you trying to figure out a way out this shit. You know what I mean?
So I have like I've also didn't experience it until like maybe a few years ago as well. That's not something that I've always had or anything like that. Right. And sometimes we don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah, you don't even realize that
you know what I mean? And I personally think that, like, my experience was this, because I noticed that everybody experiences different. And you know what I noticed too? You don't know that other people are going into it until you speak up and say something.
That's so
like
true.
I really like this is one of those situations where you don't want to talk about it because
you embarrassed, you
feel weak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
you feel like you know, we always feel like no, it's cool, and sometimes we'll try to do things to
which is why
feel
it will
better
go on for so long before you actually even take the steps.
But I knew something was wrong because even though I was going through so much in my situation, like I believe it came at a time where my living situation wasn't pretty good. I was doing summer classes, which are accelerated.
So
I was, stress. I didn't have my kids at the time. It was just so much stress that was going on. My job, I wasn't making money. So that's when I started noticing, like, there were times where me and my husband would have conversations, and it don't even be that deep. But I'll feel myself getting so angry. I feel like my heart is about to pop out of my chest. I'm like instantly, like I'm crying for no reason. I'm getting so worked up. That's when I knew, like, this isn't necessary. Because it wasn't necessary. It could be just like regular conversations, and I'm losing my goddamn marbles over this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It takes a while to realize that you're not yourself because we're just used to being us and doing what we do. So like when you experience something like this, like when your mood changes or like when you do change, you don't necessarily realize it at first because you just think that's a part of you.
Yeah, you think
it really takes like extreme situations for you to realize, like, hold on. You know what I mean? Like things just shouldn't be this bad. Like there's no reason why it should be this bad that I should feel this strongly about certain situation in such a negative manner, because at the end of the day, there's always, the positives and the negatives to the situation, and there's always a way to work through whatever it is that you're going through for real. But however, when you're like depressed or when you have anxiety, like you don't see that. You don't see the way out. You don't think of the way out. You're just thinking of a way to like end it and stop it for real in a bad way half the time.
And it's crazy because even when you're going through it, you don't know how to explain it. I couldn't understand why I was so mad and so worked up, and you get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I didn't know if it came from my birth control because I was switching. Like, it was so much that was going on, but I just knew that something wasn't right.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? And then when you're trying to talk,
it's the anger.
It's the anger. You be so mad because it's so. You never really talk about it to other people because they don't really understand where you're coming from if they don't experience it. And then when you find people that do have it, they start telling you about the damn medicine. And that's another issue that I have. Like, I don't want to take no fucking medicine that's going to have me feeling out of my, you know what I mean? Have me feeling out of body experience or whatever the case may be. That's what I'm afraid of. So I just smoke weed. You know what I mean?
I'm not really all right. Here's the thing about the medicine. Cause like it's funny that you say that. Cause I mean, like, there's definitely something that's involved, which I still haven't really fully been able to wrap my mind around, to be honest with you. Because like you said, some of the medicine that is prescribed for certain like mental conditions, because that's technically what it is. Because you figure like sometimes like bipolar, some people are bipolar. There's like schizophrenia. There's so many different mental conditions and mental illnesses out there, and it's like really a serious thing. Like, because like if you really are suffering from something and you just don't feel right most of the time, like you really should just check into talking to somebody, because it could actually be something that could help benefit you to just feel better in life. Like maybe like I like to say feel how I used to feel. Like because sometimes like as you get older, just more responsibilities in life and things like that become stressful. So like it's just a lot that changes as you get older. Like you growing and life changes and stuff like that. So stuff that may not have like been on the surface before, as far as like biologically or chemically, like that may surface due to the certain circumstances that you're going through now. And like it is important to get help, and if medicine is involved, I can't say that that's necessarily wrong. I mean, I feel like some of the side effects of the medicine is a little bit extreme,
right?
Which is what I am like against for real. Like how you say, because like you don't really want to change who you are as a person, because in your head you have an idea of like how you want to be or how you were, or you know something of that matter.
Oh yeah, and so we back.
Shit, girl.
We back. We have little, some difficulties going on. You know, we learning this shit up here. You know. No, but what was we talking about?
We was talking about the medicine. We was talking about the medicine, and I was talking about the side effects and how I feel about the side effects. So basically, sometimes even if you don't like, you might not necessarily need the medicine. You might just necessarily just talk to someone. Because sometimes, as much as you don't want to talk about it, talking about it actually does kind of help. Because it helps you process your thoughts. Like when you think in your head, yes, you're still thinking, but like you gotta hear it sometimes, to be honest with you. Like I remember back when I used to be a supervisor at work, sometimes I used to tell my tellers to stand next to me and just listen to me while I'm talking. I'm like, I don't even really need you to respond to me or answer my questions. I just need to like say it out loud, because that's just how I am sometimes.
Really?
And I feel like yeah, like legit. Like I would tell a teller to stand right next to me, and I'm trying to like figure out maybe somebody that got different or something that's wrong with the system, and I would just talk out the same thoughts that I've been thinking in my head for maybe the last 5 minutes. I'm just saying it out loud now, because when you hear it, you can process it, because like it's almost like you asking yourself the question more so, whereas like in your head you just thinking it. But when you ask yourself that question, then your brain at that point is going to give you the two different options of how you possibly going to answer that, John. While I'm thinking it in my head, I'm probably only coming up with one way, and I keep getting stuck because like I'm not really fully getting the full, you know.
So you saying that sometimes you need to just say this shit out loud,
right?
In order to be able to. Okay.
And that also relates to mental illness, because like I said, sometimes you just might need to talk to somebody, because it might just be too many thoughts that's up in your head that's causing you too much stress for real that so you don't even need.
Right, that was a statistic that said, well, it was an article. I can't pull it up because that's what fucked up our audio.
Right. Split screen.
It was saying that it was no. Once I pull up the internet, it's a wrap.
What if you go like this though?
Don't be trying to do anything. It doesn't matter. It's gonna fuck up the audio once I click up with something else, because that's interfering with that. But it was saying that women experience it more than men as far as anxiety and depression. And I also feel like maybe that statistic, I don't know how, like I can't, like I said, I can't pull up now and to be able to see like what the dates say, but I feel like there's so much that comes with it though, like nowadays, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah,
because a lot of us deal with so much shit as far as like
I said, once you get
like
older,
a lot of times I feel like I have to be doing so much, like even though my situation isn't what it used to be, I still feel like I should be doing so much more. Like I be trying to take on so much more, so you know what I mean, so much more than I need to as a woman, as a wife, as a mother. And I feel like sometimes I don't never know how to just chill. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's always, if when I'm working, I feel like I'm working too much, so I feel like I need a break. When I take a break, I hate to sit down, so I'm always right back to work. Like I can't never really take time. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I don't know if I don't know. Like there are certain things that just add to it. You know what I mean? Like I've always been like, I can't deal with disappointment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that shit's just been stemming into me. So, no, I believe that a lot of things come from like our childhood too.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like we've lived different lifestyles. but you still have anxiety. Like when you told me that about your anxiety, that wasn't until I brought that shit up. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I never would have thought, and you my cousin, nigga.
Never would have knew I was right
I never
over there going through it like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
To the
like
point where
I remember,
like
I didn't even know that my sister did a video on YouTube, and she was suicidal when we were kids. I didn't know. You feel what I'm saying? Like you just never know.
We all go through. Because at the end of the day, we all humans, like I said, and at the end of the day, technically all brains have some type of chemical imbalance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it depends on what part of that chemical imbalance is.
Do you feel like we try to do? Do you feel like I don't want to put ourselves out there, but you do. Do you feel like certain drugs that we do affects it too?
I mean, they can definitely.
Like I feel like drinking has affected certain points of my life.
Yes, they can definitely increase certain.
Alcohol, definitely.
Yeah, no, but see, they can definitely have some type of effect on it, and can increase the like. I don't know what word I want to use for it, but it definitely has an effect on the emotional state, especially with including, like I said, the chemical imbalance. You know what I mean? Because that's technically like when you are, like when you go to a doctor and actually are saying, like, you know, saying that they say that you have a condition, mm-hmm. that condition, whatever it's called, is still technically scientifically categorized as a chemical imbalance in the brain. Right. But we all have that as humans. Like, there's no human whose brain is perfect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not even perfect. Like, I mean, like, we all have cells inside of our body, and not all of them is all going to be perfectly aligned. So with that being said, there's always going to be some part of a human that's just off. You know
Why
what I mean?
do you think that, like, as the black culture, or, you know, our race in general, I guess I shouldn't speak for the whole, but majority, like black families.
Right.
Why do you think that they don't want to go to therapy? Like, that was never really an option, if that makes any sense. I think my grandma tried it, but I don't remember it being like...
I think it's our ignorance towards it. In the sense of we just don't really know or fully can wrap our head around what therapy is or what a therapist does. You know what I mean?
I feel like they just don't want people all up in their business. Like, I believe that, like, so many, like, the generations before us, our mom era and things like that, there was so much shit that was swept under the rug. Right. It was more of, like, you know, you don't say what goes on and stuff like that, and then you got uncles and shit touch it. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was just like a lot of stuff that was going on now, to the point where now it's just a different era. And I think, you know what I mean? Like I said, we still have that mentality. Like, no, therapy is like, you know. Yeah. But I believe I went to therapy, and there were so many things that I understood, like, or was able to be able to identify. You get what I'm saying? Like, about my mom. Like, I remember making so many excuses for the actions that, you know, the things that I've done because of what my mom did, because my mom didn't take care of me and stuff like that. So I kept trying to use that excuse. You get what I'm saying? But it took to be in therapy and going through that journey to be able to say, oh, I can now look in the mirror and say, no, I'm 18 now, bitch. You got caught. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take that. I'm responsible. You gotta take that accountability. Yeah, you know what I mean. So.
Oh, that's a fact.
But like I said, even with my experience with it, I once I started talking about it with people, because I've never wanted to be one of those people that I say something and then it's like, that's always my excuse. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
No.
Like, oh, that's your anxiety again. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted that type of...
Almost like you just want people to feel pity for you or something.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Stacks.
I don't want people to feel like, you know... But then again, it's... Oh, my God, yo.
Bro. You got earphones on?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I just never wanted, because there's like certain times, and then like sometimes it just might be a bitch period coming on. Like, even not to say it like that, because I know y'all don't be trying to hear shit like that. But I'm just saying, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be, but I just feel like once you be able to identify what it is, it makes the situation different because now I can try to maybe start like trying to stray away from it or being able to be like, oh, I know what that is. Maybe I need to try this. Like I want to try like home remedies and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Like I honestly believe there's certain weeds fucking help. You know what I mean? Maybe it's indica.
Effect. That's
you know?
100% effect. That's 100% effect. 100% effect. Weed is definitely something that is prescribed for medical purposes because certain strands do have certain properties that can, like we said, it's all about the brain. Right. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, all the THC is doing is interacting with, it's a certain cell that we have in our brain. The name of it sounds like cannabis. I don't know how to pronounce it off the top.
Talking about, I did neuroscience.
Right,
I know what you're
there you go.
about.
Yes. So with that being said, like the THC interacts with that, and that interacting with that in itself can interact with other cells in the brain, which is going to trigger how you feel. You know what I mean? So yes, certain weeds do have the ability to help with mental conditions. That is correct. Which is why I definitely like to smoke, because like you said, the right strand will put you where you need to be. And
I think that like that's something that should be promoted.
Oh yeah,
because then you got some weeds that throw your shit on the roof. You feel what I'm saying? You start tripping, like for some people. So you need to know the difference. You know what I mean? Like, but I swear, man, like I'm telling you, like the more I started talking about it, I was like I'm able to identify with certain things, like with people now. Like, oh, that bitch right got some issues, some anxiety issues. Cause, like, you get what I'm saying? Because you can see it in certain people. And I don't like to, you know, like I said, put, you know, people in a category or judge them.
No, because like I said before, at the end of the day, we all suffer from something. It just depends on if you actually looked into what you're suffering from. You know what I mean? That's really what it boils down to. Because like you said, most of the time we don't look into it.
No,
I don't even believe that it's necessarily just the black community. I believe that also happens in other communities.
Yeah.
It just depends on like who
you have around
white
people go get their fucking medicine. Cause I'm
telling you, do.
They go
because their parents
when I start,
worried, they freak out.
Because they know their kids is nuts and they got some anxiety issues too, and they fucking taking medicine. That's why.
But we're taught to be
But where is it coming from? Is the problem? Yes, because when bitches was slaying in them damn fields, picking cotton and shit, we ain't had no medicine. We had to sing songs and hymns and shit, making them up. The fuck, we try to get through our days and shit.
Right. But no, man, like, no, like it's definitely a thing. I don't know, man. It's definitely, like I said, at the end of the day, more importantly, it's about going or looking into what you're suffering
from. I just feel like at the end of the day, we got phones in our hand. We no longer have to go to the library for the internet. You get what I'm saying? Like niggas be on social media all the time. If you could do that, you can Google what the fuck is wrong with you. You could just Google certain symptoms that you might be having. Yeah. Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's when I knew that, like, that's what made me look at the packs on my birth control. Like, oh, this shit really is causing a bitch anxiety. I need this shit out of me. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we have to just really start maybe just researching, you know what I mean? Really start caring, really start understanding. You get what I'm saying? Not, like I said, not looking at it like
body for real.
Yeah, man.
When we listen to our body, we just like we'll be feeling pain in a certain area and we'll just think it'll go away because, like I said, we're just always taught to be strong.
But I don't want no medicine though. Like, I see people that be having medicine and when they come down off that medicine, they be acting the fuck up, and I ain't got time for that.